Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a first look at Faraday. Faraday's a natural torture with extremely powerful single target skills that can also remove great amounts of stamina. But what makes him unstoppable and unique in battle is his trait Anticipation. Whenever a rival means to perform an extra turn, Faraday will jump in and attack before the rival's next turn. Faraday will jump in and attack before the rival's extra turn. Can you hear Voltic crying in the corner? Isn't that great? Even SourcePoint acknowledges that Nemesis monsters aren't counters to the general monsters, they're just overall counters. Anyhow, depending on the weapon that Faraday brings into battle, he will have extra abilities. The Thunder weapon is focused on blinding enemies, the Earth weapon will stun and apply quicksands, and the Dark weapon can poison and make targets bleed. And the really cool thing about this monster is that they are all really great versions. Whether you get the Electrolyzer, the Thunder version, or whether you get the Earth version, the Discharger, or whether you get the Dark version, the Obscure, they are all really great Nemesis monsters. And this might be the very first that I could even recommend the $20 version. I mean, I'm not counting Hydrotilla, but Hydrotilla was a huge mess because they obviously separated them into 3 different monsters. You know, water, thunder, and earth, as opposed to just keeping them a single element. So obviously the base version has a little advantage because it can counter General Thetis. But I mean, nowadays anyone can counter General Thetis thanks to relics. But yeah, like, all these versions are phenomenal. Really quickly, I'm going to show you them in the test battle. Then I'm going to talk about Wiki. And then that's going to be it for this video. And then it's like they're all really good. So let's see. Stamina Void deals massive special damage to one enemy, removes 30% of stamina, and applies Stamina Leak to one enemy. So a pretty basic attack. You know, Stamina Drain as a mean of denial. It missed. That's kind of pathetic. Let's do Shining Fever. Deals very heavy thunder damage to one enemy, applies Sunburn and Burn to one enemy. And so here we have Burn and Sunburn. That's minus 30% HP. That's pretty good. What does this do? Applies Blind to enemies and AoE Blind. So keep in mind, this monster can intersect before a monster gets an extra turn skill, and then you can do a skill like AoE Blind and partly deny everyone. And actually, one thing I didn't show, I'll have to go back to that. So let me just do Electric Belt, applies total blind to one enemy. This is crazy good, and I'll get into this in a little bit when I go on Monster Wiki. But really quickly, let me get that skill back. Alright, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but check out his AoE, 9 Tails Zap. It has 100 accuracy, which means it cannot miss. You're always going to land the blind. You know, well, first of all, you're always going to land the 40 damage attack, and then you're always going to land the blind, assuming the monster doesn't have Hardened, Tough, Bulwark, or one of those effects that makes the effect less likely to land. That is insane. That is insane. Let's do his ultimate attack. Let's see what this does. Faraday Thunder Whip. So here he is. He did a little whip. Not too flashy or anything, but I guess, oh, it's single target too. So it's a single target, 80 damage, stun, and sunburn. Okay, not that amazing, but just his regular skills, like 100% blind, that's crazy good. Again, this is the simple version, and this doesn't even show you all of his skills group 4. We gotta go on the wiki for that. Let's take a look at the earth version. The first 2 skills are the same, so moving on to Clay Belt. So deals massive earth damage to one enemy, applies stun to one enemy. I really wish the enemies got to attack like Voltic, so then we can see how his effect works, his trait works. This is like the main selling point of this monster, and we don't even get to see it during the test demo. But anyhow, Clay Belts. What's really cool about this is that if Voltic, if Xyla, they get an extra turn, you intersect, you get to attack before they get to attack, and then you can, first of all, you can deal earth-based damage against a thunder-based monster. That's extremely powerful. But second of all, you can always just maybe immobilize it. Let's see if I land the immobilizing. No, I didn't land the stun. Alright, let's try again. Let's see if I land the stun this time. Keep in mind, they have Hardened. Only 20% of the time, the stun effect won't land. Let's see if I land it this time. Clay Belt, it landed. Cool. So now they wouldn't get an extra turn. Let's try it one more time just to do 3 trials. Do I land it again? And I didn't land it. Okay, whatever. Let's move on to Mud Whip. Apply stun and quicksand. You know what? Let's just do it again. Stun and quicksand, and look, I stunned him. So even if, oh my gosh, this monster's so insane. In terms of countering extra turn monsters, and it's not just Xylan Volt. Like, yeah, those are the main selling points, but you'll counter everyone. You'll counter Metalisha, you'll counter Demise, you'll counter Samael, the other Nemesis monster. Anyone that can turn transfer, this monster will just put himself in the middle, and then you're going to be free to attack. From an offensive and defensive point of view, he's phenomenal. Like, think about it. If my Faraday was level 100, and the enemy had a 130 Voltic, level 10 runes, it doesn't matter. I can build him with like 2 life runes and a high level strength rune. And if that Voltic attacks, gets an extra turn, my Faraday just jumps in the turn order, and then I get to attack him with one of those skills I just showed you. So it's my level 100 Faraday, or probably 105 because I'm going to have to rank him up to get skills group 4 skills, and then I can do like Mud Whip, and apply that quicksand, apply that, look, it would have landed, so he would have been immobilized, and I don't die from an endless barrage of Voltic attacks. That's how crazy this monster is. Countering Voltics, countering Xylas, if you purchase this monster, it's going to be super easy. And another thing, if the monsters are like on the same level, going back to the Thunder version, Voltic attacks you, what, 20k volts, 50k volts, static shocks, electrodynamic assault. Okay, he deals a little damage. You can do electric belt on the enemy treachery monster or on the enemy denier for the next turn, and then you can total blind them so they don't immobilize you. Keep in mind, no one is immune to total blind right now. Like, how crazy is that? So what, you take another hit from Voltic? Big deal. Now an enemy monster is total blinded. Then you can AoE, like, oh my gosh, this monster is so great. You can try to apply, oh, what did I do? You can try to apply the stamina void on the enemy Voltic or Xyla, and then look, I drained him stamina, he hits me again. So what, I'll do something next turn. It's crazy. As for the dark version, he's more of, he has a lot of AoEs. So Sinister Bout, let's see what this does. It applies bleeding and poison, so reduces enemy damage output 19% twice. Also, their HP is going to fall by 20%. Infamous Whips, this is an AoE bleeding. So among this version, I think would be more geared towards more elite players, just because you know, they're level 130s, they have life runes, they have relics. So DOTs is a really great way to take care of monsters, to take down monsters. But yeah, it's just, oh gosh, I don't even know, like, I'm gonna be all over with this video. Let's get into Monster Wiki and take a look at each individual monster. And so let's start with the Electrolyzer. Power 3542, pretty good power. Life 3480, pretty good life. Speed 3399, that's rather on the slow end. However, it doesn't matter with this monster because honestly, you can run him as 3 team speed. That's all he needs. He doesn't need a speed, he doesn't need 2 speed, he doesn't need to go before any monster. He can be your nemesis team speed holder that supplements your other monsters on defense and on offense, and then he can still counter the fastest of fast monsters that have extra turn skills. That's what makes him phenomenal. In terms of bugs, he's in Evil Legions, he's in Superheroes, he's in Exclusive. So in Superheroes, that's where you're going to encounter Voltic. In Thunder Wars, that's where you encounter Voltic, Evil Legions, and Exclusive. Let me actually check who is in Evil Legions and Exclusives. So Evil Legion has, let me sort by Legendary. Evil Legions has, there's a Metal Leisha, she can turn transfer. I guess mostly Metal Leisha unless I'm skipping someone else. So Metal Leisha is the one that's going to turn transfer there. Exclusive, that's all the Nemesis and the VIPs, and then some obscure legendary monsters. Let's see. Cloud can turn transfer. Let's see. Sammy, all the Sammys can turn transfer. And Sammy is a typical monster you see on defense too for player versus player. Like, there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunity for this monster to interject himself before an extra turn monster gets to attack. Anyways, he can hold the Trap Relic, he can hold the Sword Relic. The Sword Relic actually helps him out a lot because he can deal some extra damage to the enemy monsters. And again, this is what I'm saying. He might not even need a Strength rune. He might be able to pull it off with 3 team speed, or probably 2 team speed, 1 strength if you want to be sure. Or again, from like the underdog perspective, if you're battling 130 monsters, if they have level 10 runes, you might want to give him a life rune so he doesn't die in 1 hit. Although I can't imagine a Voltic or Xyla taking out this monster in 1 hit, just because it's thunder based damage against a thunder monster, which is why I truly believe that 3 team speed, you're going to be solid, especially with like the earth monster, but more on that in a bit. Let's take a look at his skills. Stamina Leak, Sunburn, no damage, no cooldown, 50% chance to blind. Let's see this, removes 35% of stamina, no cooldown. This is spammable. So if you were to get a Thunder version, this might be good against Silent Voltic, just because if you're running 3 team speed, you don't have a lot of ways to deal damage, you do want to drain their stamina. Shining Agony, 45 damage, no cooldown Sunburn. DOTs is a great way to get rid of extra turn monsters, specifically Xylan Volt. Lightning Strap, 60 damage, 19 stamina, 1 turn cooldown, 100% accuracy. There it is again, 100% accuracy, can blind an enemy. That is a great, powerful skill. Faraday Cage, Sunburn, and Stamina Leak. What else? Discomforting Bask, AoE Sunburn, and AoE Sunburn. That is great. And one thing I just realized is that Sunburn for him is minus 10% HP, minus 15% accuracy. I could have sworn Sunburn was minus 15% HP, so I have to check on that. But an AoE Sunburn, and now we have the AoE Blind. Again, 100% accuracy. Gosh, that's great. And then his skills group 4, Stamina Void, Stamina Leak, and minus 30% stamina. Shining Fever deals heavy thunder damage to one enemy, applies Sunburn and Burn to one enemy. Again, great skill to take down a Xylan Volt. If one of them lands, even if none of them lands, doesn't matter. They get another extra turn, you get another opportunity to do something. You get another turn to like apply some other effect. And then Electric Belt, you're total blind. So what I like about this basic version is if you're battling the Voltic, they go, right? They get an extra turn, you intersect. Maybe you apply Shining Fever to get that DOT damage on them. Okay, they're still alive, they go again. Well, then you get another turn in, you intersect again, and then you can do Electric Belt on whatever enemy monster is attacking next, or on the Deny monster, and you immobilize them. And then maybe you get another chance, and then you can do some other skill. Maybe you can apply the AoE Sunburn. Maybe you can apply the AoE Blind. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you only have $20 to spend, the Thunder version he's a great monster in this case. He has a good power, he has a good life, speed doesn't matter at all. Give this monster 3 team speed, give him 2 team speed and a strength, although it's really arguable whether you need the strength rune or not. I mean, it'll definitely make it easier to one-shot, but at the same time, considering that, and it depends on your level and everything, right? Like, assuming they're the same level, if it's like, if you have 115 monsters, they have 115 monsters, if it's a 115 Xyler Bolt, yeah, they're pretty strong with a level 10 strength rune, but assuming you guys have similar level runes, if they have level 10 and you have level 10, you're gonna be fine. Let them hit you a few times, let them get their extra turn skills, so then you can apply effects. That way you can apply an AoE Sunburn, an AoE Blind, so you can apply a total blind. Like, oh my gosh, this monster is insane. Let's go on to the next version. What do we have? We have the Discharger. So this is a dark version. His power is 3652. That is insanely high. Life 35588. I believe he has the highest life of the 3 Faraday versions, and his power is slightly lower than the Earth version, and his speed is 3432. Nothing too impressive. Slightly lower than the Earth version. And then he is in the exact same books, obviously, same relics, sword and trap. Let's see what he has. He has Dust Slash, 45 damage, no cooldown Quicksand, Gravel Strap, AoE Quicksand, only 90 accuracy, so you only get that 100% accuracy with the Thunder version. Clay Belt, we saw this in the gameplay, 65 damage Earth-based stun skill, and then Mud Whip, we saw this in the gameplay too, a stun and Quicksand. And the cool thing about this is against a Thunder-based monster, that 70 damage is 50% stronger, so it's essentially 105 damage against any Thunder-based monster. I don't know if I said Earth-based a while ago, but against any Thunder-based damage, that's 105. Gosh, that is ridiculous. And then, of course, he has the other same skills. Now, the cool thing about this monster, which is the same thing with the Thunder version, is that this version has a means of immobilizing. He can stun. Not only can he stun, he can also Quicksand. But the cool thing is, once again, Xyla, Voltic, whatever, they attack him, okay, extra turn. Maybe instead of just immediately going after the Voltic, the Xyla, you can stun the enemy monster, stun the Deny monster, stun the third monster in the turn order, just immobilize them, and then they attack you again. Okay, you get another turn. Now do Clay Belt or Mud Whip on the enemy Xyla or Volt. If you don't kill them in one hit, you'll probably immobilize them. If you do Mud Whip, you'll probably land Quicksand. If you don't do either, okay, they get another turn in. Well, you have more attacks to choose from. You can try applying the Sun and Burning if you're running that. You can go for Stamina Void, 65 special base damage, Stamina Leak, and minus 30% stamina. You have so many things you can do. If you want a monster just to counter Xyla and Volt, I would say the Discharger is probably your best option just because you have that elemental advantage. But like I said, you don't have to kill the monster in one shot if you don't want to. You can let them attack you to apply effects on the whole enemy team. And then, like, once again, going back, gosh, originally I was going to get the Earth version because of that whole stun potential. But I really love that the Thunder version can total blind. I can't get over that. That's 70 damage total blind, and then the 100% accuracy blind. I'm really considering just the basic version, because even in terms of taking on Xyla and Volt, I still have Stamina Void. It's 65 damage. It's a 1-turn cooldown. So yeah, it's a tough one for me now. The total blind is kind of winning for me. I love the stun. I love the Quicksand. Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But let's discuss the last version, and I'm realizing now this is the dark version. I don't know, I'm all over the place, guys. Sorry, I gotta record this video fast, and then I gotta leave. But Faraday the Obscure, power 3663, so that means the Earth version was the one that had a slightly weaker power. Yeah, so the Earth version is slightly weaker. Why can't his weapon be brown? That would make more sense. And this looks magical. What the heck? I'm just noticing this. This looks dark based, and this looks magic based, but that's not the case. Okay, moving down. This is the dark version, life 34,985. So the dark version has a slightly lower life than the Earth version. That makes sense. And he's slightly stronger than the Earth version. Okay, and slightly faster too, with 11, 12 more points. Just, he's slightly faster. So let's see what this monster has. Lash of Gloom, Bleeding and Poison. He has Somber Strap, Poison, Sinister Belt. Again, we saw all of these in the videos. Infamous Whip. So he actually has an AoE, Bleeding and Poison. So again, really great for taking on really tanky monsters, really great for taking on maybe those 130 monsters. Like in terms of defense, you want Infamous Whip, you want like Discomforting Bask, you want something that's gonna hopefully land on everyone. So they're all really great monsters, but I gotta say, for me, it's either gotta be the Earth one that takes it, or maybe even the basic version, the Thunder version. And it's funny, I was thinking this, I'm like, what if the Thunder Nemesis is the only Nemesis monster that the base version is the best? And that kind of appears to be the case depending on your playstyle, depending on how you go about things. Whoa, what the heck? You can get this monster for $30? What? That's not true, right? He costs 20? Man, I gotta check stuff before I make videos. But yeah, let me check right now actually. Yeah, so the Dark version 30, Earth version is 30, and then Thunder version is 20. Okay, so yeah, exactly what I was saying. The Thunder version, it might be winning me over. That total blind, again, it depends on your playing style. That's all that matters. What I'm thinking is, I'm going to take a few hits from Voltic and Zyla. I don't mind. If I can immobilize one of the enemy monsters, and then if I can maybe sunburn everyone, if I can, oh my gosh, I don't know. So at this point, I'm not entirely sure. I'm between the Thunder version and the Earth version being better for the majority of players. And I'm really curious to hear what all of you think. You know, I mainly focused on countering Zyla and Voltic, but again, this monster can counter anyone. Demise, Sammy, Metalisha, anyone that churn transfers, you literally interject before they attack, and then you get to do an attack. If you're in the Earth version, for example, you can stun the enemy monster. So say Metalisha gives an extra turn to, like, I don't know, let's just say Barbatos, doesn't matter. You can stun Barbatos and give him Quicksand, and then he's done with that. Let's say they churn transfer into some other strong attacker. Same thing, you can just stun, assuming they're not immune to stun. But let's say they are immune to stun. Well, this is where the Thunder version comes in handy, because you can then apply Total Blind, and then they can hit you, and okay, so what? And you're thinking, oh, what if it is Barbatos, and he does his Blood Covenant skill, his extra churn skill? Well, guess what? Your Faraday gets another extra churn, and he interjects again, so then you can do something else. Like, that's how crazy this monster is. And again, in terms of offense or defense, he's going to be phenomenal. Because in defense right now, the common defense monster I always see is Zyron the Ruby. She's incredible, right? She has overpowered deny skills like for days. She can stun, she can do this, she can freeze, she can mega stun, mega whatever. She's crazy. And always partnered with her is another Nemesis monster. Usually maybe Warthog. You know, Warthog can be stunned, can be frozen, can be possessed. And if it's a dark version, he also has a 0 cooldown 6 damage attack that also applies like bleeding, which means even cooldowns activated can't touch him. So it'll be Ruby, it'll be Warthog, then it'll be like Sammy, or it'll be like Nadia. It'll be like a triple Nemesis team or something. I imagine this monster is also going to be a go-to defense monster, just because now for offense you won't be able to do that easy victory of bringing your Metalisha, bringing your Demise, bringing someone with 3 speedruns, bringing your Zyla or your Voltic, or specifically Zyla if you have her, with the charging banner, you know, the one that restores your stamina after it falls below a certain level. You won't be able to do that combo because Faraday is going to mess you up, you know. Faraday is going to get in there and maybe do an AoE blind, which if you're thinking, okay, whatever, you know, Zyla can keep attacking, get rid of the blind. It doesn't matter because every time you get an extra turn, Faraday is going to be right in your face and do something else to you or your team. Even if he doesn't kill your extra turn monster, oh, this is ridiculous. So yeah, this is a great, phenomenal Nemesis monster. If you've ever wanted a Nemesis monster, I would say now's the time. If you have trouble dealing with ranked up Voltics and Zylas, well, this monster, even at like a low level, at 100, 105, he might be able to handle them. Because even his skills group 3, we saw, is pretty much good enough to handle a Zyla and a Voltic. And pretty much handle any extra turn monster. If you don't want to spend the 30 bucks, honestly, get the Thunder version. I'm still deciding. Actually, my teammates are incredible. This Christmas, they actually got together and gave me a gift. Kendall specifically said, here, take my money, buy a Nemesis monster. It's for you, Merry Christmas. Just, they're a great group of people, so I have to get one in their honor. And originally, I was going to get the Earth one, now I'm thinking Thunder. I don't know, this is where I pass it on to you guys. Who do you think is the best Nemesis monster? Do you think the Thunder one is better? The Earth one is better? Why do you think one is better than the other? Maybe you think the Dark one is better, then by all means, defend the Dark one. Let me know why in the comments below. I am really looking forward to reading your guys' comments. And also be sure to let me know whether or not you're going to be getting one, and so what skills are you going to be choosing. And also let me know how are you going to ring your monster. Will you be going the 3 team speed route, the 2 team speed and a strength? Maybe for those underdog players, are you going to be going with a life rune, a rainbow build, you know? Just because you don't want to die from a 130 monster with level 10 runes. Whatever you're thinking about, let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and like always, remember to dream big and pursue your passions.